Terminology of international business: unemployment, balance of trade, balance of payment, globalization, joint venture. Unemployment. The term unemployment refers to an individual who is capable to work and willing to work but does not get an opportunity to work. Types: voluntary unemployment, frictional unemployment, casual unemployment, seasonal unemployment. Voluntary unemployment. It refers to a situation where people do not work either because they have continuous flow of income from their property or they do not want to work at prevailing wage rate. Frictional unemployment. It occurs when some workers are temporarily out of work either while changing jobs or when the work is suspended due to strike or lockouts. Casual unemployment. It occurs in industries such as constructions, catering, or agriculture, where workers are employed on a day-to-day basis and hence terminable anytime. Seasonal unemployment. Occupations such as agriculture or tourism are seasonal in nature. They offer employment for a certain period of time in a year. This is seasonal unemployment. Balance of trade. Balance of trade refers to value of country's export minus its import. It is most significant component of current account. Calculation: X minus M is equal to TB, where X is export, M is import, TB is trade balance. Exports are goods and services sold to foreign nation. Imports are goods and services bought from foreign nation to resident nation. When exports are more than imports, there is trade surplus, and when exports are less than imports, there are trade deficit. Balance of payment. Balance of payment is a statement or record of all monetary and economic transactions made between a country and rest of the world within a defined period. Components are: current account. It monitors the flow of funds from goods and services trade between countries. It includes revenue from tourism, transportation receipt, etc. Financial account. It monitors the flow of funds pertaining to investments in businesses, real estates, and stocks. It includes gold and special drawing rights (SDRs) held with the International Monetary Fund or IMF. Capital account. It monitors the flow of international capital transactions. It includes money received from debt forgiveness and gift taxes. Globalization. It is the process of interaction and integration among people, companies, and government worldwide. It involves goods, services, economic resources of capital, technology, and data. Types are economic globalization, social globalization, political globalization. Economic globalization. It refers to interconnectedness of economies through trade and exchange of resources. For example, USA will sell their technologies to countries which lack these. Social globalization. It refers to the sharing of ideas and information between and through different countries. For example, popular movies, books, and TV series have been successful all over world, making the character featured globally known. Political globalization. It refers to the amount of political cooperation that exists between different countries, for example, the creation and existence of the United Nations. Joint venture. Joint venture is commercial enterprise in which two or more companies join their forces to gain a tactical and strategic edge in the market. Advantages: profit at low cost, flexible nature, startup push, shared cost, expense, benefits, and risk. Disadvantage: flexibility is restricted, assets and claims, equal involvement is impossible, repo formation.
Terminologies: balance of trade, balance of payment, infrastructure, exchange rate, gross domestic product. Balance of trade. The difference in total value between a country's imports and exports is known as balance of trade. It measures a flow of exports and imports over a given period of time. If a country exports a greater value than it imports, it has a trade surplus or positive trade balance. And if a country imports a greater value than it exports, it has a trade deficit or negative trade balance. Balance of payments. It is the difference in total value between payments into and out of a country over a period. It divides transactions into two accounts, the current account and the capital account. The current account includes transaction in goods, services, investments, income, and current transfers. The capital account includes transactions in financial bank instruments and central bank reserves. Infrastructure. The basic physical organizational structures and facilities such as buildings, roads, and power supply needed for the operation of a society or enterprise is known as infrastructure. These systems tend to be high-cost investments and are vital to a country's economic development and prosperity. Exchange rate. The value of one currency for the purpose of conversion to another is known as exchange rate. It is the price of a nation's currency in terms of another currency. For example, how many US dollars does it take to buy 1 euro? As of 2019, the exchange rate is 1.13, meaning it takes 1 US dollars 0.13 cents to buy 1 euro. Gross domestic product. Gross domestic product is the total value of goods produced and services provided in a country during 1 year. The GDP is usually calculated on an annual basis. It can be calculated on a quarterly basis as well. GDP is a monetary measure of the market value of all the final goods and services produced in a period of time, often annually. Terminology. Globalization, political globalization, social globalization, economic globalization, liberalization. Globalization. It is the process of interaction and integration among people, companies, and governments worldwide. Globalization is considered by some as a form of capitalist expansion which entails the integration of local and national economies into a global unregulated market economy. It is the spread of products, technology, information, and jobs across national borders and cultures. It describes the interdependence of nations around the globe fostered through free trade. Political globalization. Political globalization refers to the amount of political cooperation that exists between different countries. It refers to the growth of worldwide political system both in size and complexity. One of the key aspects of political globalization is the declining importance of the nation state and the rise of other factors on the political scene. The creation and existence of the United Nations has been called one of the classic examples of political globalization. Social globalization. Social globalization refers to the sharing of ideas and information between and through different countries. It pertains to human interaction within culture communities, encompassing topics like family, religion, work, and education. Social globalization is evident in the similarities of social trends between cultures, from consumerism to arts and humanities. For example, note the worldwide popularity of chain restaurants like McDonald's or a specific fashion trend. Economic globalization. Economic globalization refers to the interconnectedness of economies through trade and the exchange of resources. It refers to widespread international movement of goods, capital, services, technology, and information. It primarily comprises the globalization of production, finance, markets, technology, organizational regimes, institutions, corporations, and labor. Liberalization. Liberalization refers to a country opening up to the rest of the world with regards to trade, regulations, taxation, and other areas that generally affect business in the country. It refers to any process whereby a state lifts restrictions on some private individual activities. Liberalization helps in a huge way to save country from debt trap. The main objective of liberalization is to encourage foreign trade with other countries which regulate import and exports.